Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a skincare video. I did my skincare inventory as part of my start of the year type of videos, and I actually got quite a positive response to that, and I wanted to make more skincare videos, and what I have been testing this far is the Good Molecules routine for oily skin. This was sent to me by the brand, and all the items that I will talk to you about were indeed gifted. This doesn't change at all my opinion. I have a lot of skincare, I use a lot of skincare, and it was a nice opportunity to try something new. Good Molecules is the home brand of Beautylish, so it is sold only off of Beautylish, and that is also the reason why I hadn't tried it by myself since it launched, because there would be customs involved, and I'm not a big fan of paying customs for products coming from the US, especially since there was no proven extraordinary effects that I really needed, and I was quite happy with my skincare routine up to that point. So a little bit about my skin. Again, I have a combination oily skin. I get really oily in the center of my face, around my nose, in my T-zone, let's say. But my cheeks are normal. They're a little bit sensitive, and I have some rosacea, so I'm very red on my cheeks. I get red when it's warm, I get red when it's cold, wind, a little bit of everything. So I was contacted by the PR of Good Molecules, and she asked me what type of skin I had so that she could put together a little package for me and have me test out the products. I received them in November, and I have been using them ever since. So I think I am finally comfortable enough to give you my opinion. Again, I am not a skincare expert. I am not a trained esthetician. I am not a trained facialist or a cosmetic chemist. So what I will be speaking about is to the level of my knowledge. I have a PhD in chemistry, but not in cosmetic chemistry. So those are completely different things. It allows me to read the ingredient list maybe a little bit more fluently than anyone who does not have a chemistry background, but it doesn't mean that I know how these ingredients interact any more than you do if you do a good research online or you follow proper trained people who will help you decode these ingredient lists. So that disclaimer said, let's start by talking a little bit about the philosophy of the brand, which you will recognize in a lot of brands coming up since Deciem and The Ordinary boomed in the industry a few years ago. They claim they just want simple ingredient lists that work and that don't break the bank. So simple, let's say one active type of products, and therefore very similar to The Ordinary. You can imagine the Inky List is also a similar brand. I think Makeup Revolution has copied that as well, but I haven't tried the Inky List or Makeup Revolution yet. And recently Beauty Bay came out with their own range of skincare, which is very similar. I think there's a little bit more actives in the serums of the Beauty Bay range, but I haven't bought those yet because they have a lot of essential oils. They say we have 0% synthetic fragrance. Okay, but they have essential oils at the bottom of their ingredient list, especially in the serum I was looking at. They had menthol or peppermint oil and limonene, and these can be sensitizing to the skin. Not everybody can take them very easily, and because I have red cheeks that flush easily, I didn't want to go there. For those who don't know, there's a lot of talk about essential oils in skincare, but they are not completely safe and not safer than synthetic fragrance. I think even less because they're less tested and less controlled. So that is up to you, but let's get into Good Molecules. As part of the combination oily skin routine, I received 4 products in these beautiful boxes. They don't have names because I was reading the ingredients in the back, but we have the Niacinamide Serum, that looks like this: the Niacinamide Brightening Toner, the Overnight Exfoliating Treatment, and the Hyaluronic Acid Serum. Then in a separate occasion, they also sent me their Silicone-free Priming Moisturizer, and we'll go through this one as well. Starting with the way I apply products in my skincare routine on a clean and dry face, I have been using the Niacinamide Brightening Toner with a lot of pleasure. I've been loving using this. I am actually almost halfway, and this is a glass bottle that contains 120 milliliters. I'll put the prices on the screen so that I don't have to refer to the website all the time, and it has a beautiful and perfect dispenser, so you just tip it over in your hand. This formula is not super liquidy, so it's not like water. It holds a little bit in itself, so that it is easier to apply with your hands. I like that very much because I've been trying to cut down on cotton rounds and disposable items, and right now what I'm doing is applying my toners with my hands if they don't contain acids. So this guy right here has the perfect consistency for that. I do 1, 2, 3 in my hand and then pat it in my skin and drag it down my neck. That is usually plenty. I let it sit a little bit, maybe pat it in some more. I give myself a bit of a finger massage if I have time. I use this every morning, but you can use it morning and evening. And it contains niacinamide, vitamin C, arbutin, and licorice root extract to brighten and improve appearance of enlarged pores. So I have been using this type of ingredients for quite a long time, so I didn't see a big change in my skin. So that is also where skincare reviews get a little bit difficult and personalized. If you already have a good routine, you're not going to be seeing a very big change. However, I find that my skin is doing quite well. It is calm. It is, it has its moments, but those are hormonal, so not much I can do about that, or skincare can do about that, to be honest. After the toner, I apply the Niacinamide Serum, which is 10% niacinamide. This one here is different from the ordinary niacinamide because it does not contain the 1% zinc, which usually helps a little bit with oil control or sebum production to reduce that. But this serum is less sticky, so I know people have problems with the ordinary serum breaking them out or it being too sticky under their makeup or their moisturizer. I never had that problem. I liked the ordinary one. In my recent haul, I bought like the really big 60 mils before I got these. So that one is sitting there closed until I finish this one. But I really like that one, so I didn't have any complaints. However, this one in texture is a little bit lighter and it absorbs quickly. I used 3 drops. And here I can show you also one of the good things about the packaging about these. So this is the dropper, and you can see that this is quite a jelly type of serum formula. And what I like that in the bottle, compared to the ordinary, where if you spill the bottle it's gonna go everywhere and it's just really, I don't know, there's nothing else than a glass jar and a pipette. In here instead you have a little bit of a, I don't know, it's a plastic cap in here that first of all cleans the outside of your pipette and also helps you not to make a mess. I really like the packaging of these. They're heavy duty glass, like really heavy, so maybe from a waste point of view not great, but they seem really well thought of. I also like that all of the little tags have different colors for the different products. So as I said, I apply this after my toner, and only in the morning. In the evening I have a completely different routine, so I don't use this in the evening, and it's substituted the ordinary serum. I've been liking it, as I said. It works well. Niacinamide is an ingredient I always want in my routine. I love it. It does great for my oily skin. So I have been enjoying this serum, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something different than the ordinary one. Then I would go in with my moisturizer. Now there's 2 different things. One is a moisturizer, one is an SPF. I personally like to have one item that does moisturizer and SPF. Because I have oily skin, I don't want to add extra layers to my skin. However, I have been trying out and testing for you guys the silicone-free priming moisturizer, and especially in days where either I'm not leaving the house, so I'm not seeing sun or daylight very much, which sounds really sad actually, but I work from home 2 days a week, so I don't really leave then. I just work at home. And also in the evenings I use this also as a night cream. Overall, I really like this. I was quite skeptical because a priming moisturizer, it's either a primer or a moisturizer. What are we talking about? And the claim to be silicone-free, sure, silicones are not bad. Some people are more prone to clogged pores due to silicones, but well-formulated skincare with silicones don't have problems. It's a good barrier, especially in moisturizer. So yeah, I don't see a problem in having silicones in a formula. Plus, this one says that it is formulated with shea butter, macadamia seed oil, and plant-derived silicone alternatives. Now, looking at the ingredient list, the only thing that I can imagine being this naturally derived silicone alternative is the neopentyl glycol diheptanoate. Difficult names. But to be honest, I don't mind. I don't care. Having shea butter in made me very conscious though, because with my oily skin, I don't like any buttery consistency that is too much. You know how some of the Body Shop body butters are buttery? I hate that feeling on my skin. My skin sweats under it. So it's really not for me. I really don't like it. So I was skeptical. However, this one here has, I don't know, it has proved itself being a very valid moisturizer. It has an airless pump container. It looks very chic. It feels heavy. It is not glass. This is plastic. And I use 1.5 pumps for my face. It is quite a, this one I'm gonna show you. I don't wanna waste product. That's why I haven't showed you everything. But this one here you can see is quite a stiff formula, but it applies like a cream, and it almost melts into the skin in the sense that you can see that now it's shiny. And yeah, I can imagine that this is a product that with the heat of your skin then melts into a more, yeah, I don't know, watery consistency. Like there's a little bit of a phase change there for some of the ingredients. I don't mind. I actually quite like it. It absorbs quite quickly, but not too quickly. It doesn't make my skin feel heavy, but it does feel protected and moisturized. A bit more than I'm used to, I have to say, but I'm not disliking it. Under makeup, this works really well. I find that my foundation lasts much better with this under makeup, and I really see a difference, much more than any blurring primer or blah blah, like more makeup-y primer. This one I feel works very well. I have also tried it with an SPF on top. So they suggest that if you're using it with SPF, let it sink in well for, I don't know, a few minutes, but I usually put it on, go get dressed, then go put on my my SPF. So that actually takes, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And yeah, it works. It doesn't pill if you let it sit. However, I feel like then I have too many layers, and then I don't want to put makeup on top of that, and that's not for me. So the only thing I'm sad about is that this one doesn't have an SPF, because otherwise, yeah, it would be pretty awesome. But as we know, releasing a regular moisturizer takes half the time, half the procedures, half the bureaucratic steps than an SPF, because an SPF has to be checked and proven. So this one is an easy release, let's say, but it's a really good product. I really like it, and I would recommend it for normal skin. Yes, very dry skin, maybe if you layer very nicely your serums underneath. I don't know that it is, yeah, I don't know that it is enough hydration, but I feel like as a moisturizer on top, it seals well the skin, it protects the skin, and it feels nice and lush. So I would definitely recommend it for pretty much all skin types, I would say. I have been blabbing on so long. So next up, the hyaluronic acid serum, and it's formulated to draw moisture into the skin for deeper hydration. Let me find the box here, and I think we are safe to say that having the sodium hyaluronate underneath the phenoxyethanol means that there's not a lot of hyaluronic acid in here, unfortunately, but they have a lot of very hydrating and moisturizing ingredients on top, like glycerin, butylene glycol, and yeah, overall quite a neutral serum. I use it as a buffer for retinol, so I actually wash my face, spray a little hydrating toner on, and then apply my retinol. Especially when I use adapalene, so the different gel that is very strong, I let it sit for a bit. When I feel like it's sunk in, then I will apply this guy right here on top to add moisture, and then I will apply a face oil on top of that. So I have been using it quite a bit. You can see I'm down to here. I don't think it's miraculous, and I'm not sure it will be enough hydration for a dry skin, but for my skin, it's not sticky. It's very pleasant to use. It doesn't do miracles, but it's also not a negative. It sinks in fast. It's not sticky. I like it as a hydrating serum. We have made it to the final product, and that is the overnight exfoliating treatment. This is formulated with 10% AHA and BHA to resurface and renew. So from what I understand, it's a mixture of AHAs and BHAs that makes up the 10%. So it's not 10% AHA. So that is a little bit of an explanation. This guy right here is actually a surprising product and something I did not have in my routine and that I have been using happily. I've used it on a regular basis. I wouldn't say weekly, but sometimes every week, sometimes every 2 weeks, depending on what other things I'm doing. If I'm doing masks in the weekend, then I will not use this, but if I don't do masks, I'll apply this because it's an overnight mask, let's say. And this one tingles a little bit. The first time I used it, I was actually taken aback that I did feel it tingling, but that was the first time. I would recommend that if you use it and you know that you're a bit sensitive to AHAs or BHAs and you feel them, make sure your skin is very, very dry. As in, no, it's not wet. Not that your skin feels dry, but like that there is no moisture from washing your face or other serums, for example. Also, I would apply directly to the skin, not with other products underneath. And I actually initially thought it was going to be a, let's say, rival to the red mask from The Ordinary, but that has a ridiculously high amount of acids, and it is a wash-off mask, whereas this one is a leave-on mask. And I think it wins for me there because it's much less high maintenance. You can just make one night a week of your routine. You use this instead of your acid toner or your retinol. You just use this, a hydrating serum on top and a good moisturizer, and the skin in the morning feels soft. I really felt a difference. I really feel like this does something to help my skin like be more radiant. I like it. I am very happy to use it. Use it only at night. Remember to use SPF in the morning. Always, regardless of the products you use, you always should use SPF if you're going in the environment. I think even me here sitting in front of a window talking to you, I am getting exposed to UV rays. I have SPF on because that's I'm gonna leave the house today. But for example, that is also a good a good reminder. So they say to use it up to 3 times a week, not not more. And I agree. I think it's quite strong. I think you don't need this much exfoliation. You risk damaging your barrier. And however, I've been using it once a week and I really like it. I feel like I don't need to use masks as much if I use regularly an exfoliating treatment that is a little bit stronger than my usual toners. So I spoke a lot. Thank you if you got this far. I am very happy to answer any questions you have in the comments down below. I tried to be as thorough as possible with these. As I said, I didn't go into all of the ingredients too in depth because I am not how do you say, an expert in this. I want just to relay my opinion and my personal experience, and I have some experience with skincare and makeup in all of these years of reviewing them and testing different things. So would I recommend a good molecule skincare range? These products that I've tried, yes. If you're looking for a very hydrating hyaluronic acid, I think you can find a better formula out there. However, for my oily skin, I feel like this one is doing some nice moisturizing or hydrating underneath the skin, so I am liking that. The niacinamide serum could be something to try if you don't like the ordinary one, for example, or if you're in the US and you want something easily accessible to you. Beautylish has really good customer service and very quick shipping. When I lived in the US, I did order from them. To Europe, you will be able to order these. They are very inexpensive, and I think you get quite a good value for your money. You can order them from Beautylish. Shipping, I think, is free over a certain amount, and they calculate taxes in advance. So in principle, the packages will not be stopped at customs because they will pay them in advance for you. So in principle, that is the situation. I know a lot of people do order from Beautylish in Europe, but I personally never did because of the customs situation. There's different retailers that sell the products that Beautylish also sells, except for these guys right here. If I could only have one, I think I would go for the niacinamide serum. If the next one that I would buy is probably the overnight exfoliating treatment, and then the silicone-free priming moisturizer. This one, knowing that I need to use an SPF instead during the day or in the morning on top of it. So that is the only gripe I have with this. The other two are nice serums. They work well, but they are not revolutionary to an extent that I would buy them from overseas. Good. I hope this was exhaustive and not exhausting. Yeah, let me know if you like this type of skincare reviews. I am happy to chat with you about it. I love skincare just as much as I love makeup. And don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video if you liked it. It really helps me against the 2 people that always thumbs down my videos. My favorites? How can you thumb down my favorites? It's my favorites, not yours. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.